This is Texans TV.
Two heroic high schoolers get a special message from Deshaun Watson.
And I just wanted to thank you for what you did to save your neighbors.
And we get to know the host of Pro Texans. Texans 360 starts now.
We are ready to rock in Houston. Lock and roll. Touchdown, Texans.
Guess when you think you've seen it all, there's always something else.
Welcome into Texans 360. I'm your host, Deepi Sidhu. The Houston Texans are home for the first time this 2020 season. You are home, and we are right here where we always are, bringing you the very best of the Houston Texans all week long. We're going to be doing it all season long, and this show is no different. Tonight, I sit down with Jordan Akins, the third-year tight end. Also, Pro Texans is back for Season 2. But first, I had a chance to sit down with Jeff Zrebiak. He covers the Baltimore Ravens for The Athletic up in Baltimore. We wanted to know what this 2020 Baltimore Ravens team is all about. Take a look. This week's Enemy Sidelines brought to you by Microsoft Teams. Our guest is Jeff Zrebiak. He writes for The Athletic up in Baltimore. Used to write for the Baltimore Sun. Has covered the Baltimore Ravens for many, many years. Jeff, this is the first time I'm actually seeing you face to face. What was the offseason like for Lamar Jackson, for this Ravens team? What was sort of the attitude surrounding the team heading into 2020?
It was a long couple months, and then obviously we had the quarantine and all that. Lamar Jackson was in Florida, didn't get to throw to his receivers as much as he would have liked, and but you know, they came back Sunday and they looked like they were prepared. You know, it looked like a pretty prepared team that did what they were supposed to do in the limited time.
Let's get into this week's Next Gen stat presented by AWS. Lamar Jackson had the best passer rating of all QBs that played in week one, 152.1. That's almost a perfect passer rating. He was ahead of Russell Wilson and Gardner Minshew. Both of those quarterbacks also put up big numbers. So let's talk about Lamar Jackson now heading into year 3. After seeing that week 1 performance, I know it's early, but is he better than he was even last year? Are we going to see even more passing from Lamar Jackson than running?
Yeah, well, I think two things. One, he called this mostly a mental offseason for himself. He wanted to learn the nuances of the quarterback position better. He wanted to study the Ravens' offense, study what defenses were doing to him. He said he watched a ton of film this offseason. You know, he was inside for most of it and really tried to use the time to study his own game and get better at the quarterback position. And I think we saw that Sunday. He just looked very comfortable and confident in everything he did. And now, he was only the second unanimous MVP in league history last year. So it's going to be tough to go up in terms of performance. The question still exists with the Ravens. If you stop their running game, or if you get an early lead on them, can they beat you? Can they come back? Are they prolific enough in the passing game to come back and win, especially in a big game? But the Ravens have tried to evolve a little offensively. They want to, throw the ball a little more, challenge teams more downfield. And Lamar Jackson, so far so good. They threw a ton downfield against the Browns. And part of that was because the Browns secondary was kind of depleted. But I think you will see them try to establish the pass more and take more big shots down the field. And that's definitely something they've spent a lot of time in the summer when they got together working on.
Jeff Zrebiak, always a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks so much, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
If you love seeing what our opposing beat writers are saying about the Texans and about their own teams, well, just tune into 360 every single week, because I'll be bringing you more of those reports as the season rolls on. All right, we are rolling on right here at Texans 360. Out in the community at Yates High School, 2 students performed a very heroic act when they saw a house on fire. And what they did resulted in a pretty cool visit from a very special Texans quarterback.
I am the proud principal of this campus, Jack Yates High School. This is like a hub, and when I say that, this is the safe space in the community. We have a lot of community support, business support. Everyone wants the best for our campus. A place where kids, and I hate to say kids can be kids, but all neighborhood kids just come and they can be themselves. They're proud, their brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents have all went to Yates, so it's a family hub here.
With Yates being in the heart of 3rd Ward, it is very, very important to this community. And the legacy is, I mean, how do you even start to talk about the legacy of this school? Not only athletics, but the fine arts piece and the folks who have come through, politicians, and just the great folks who've done great things coming through this school and have walked the halls of this great institution is just, I mean, it's like no other across the country.
You think about Yates football, you think about tradition. It's historical. At one time, it was the biggest show in town. You know, on Friday nights, everybody from the community attended the games and things of that nature. There's still a lot of tradition involved, but of course things change. And so right now what we're trying to do is get things going back in that direction.
Coach Hickey stresses in his athletes, it's not about just on the field, it's your all day, everyday life on campus. And those young men did just that, made a good decision.
Whether it was their parents that taught them, whether it was something that they learned at school, growing up through, you know, HISD, whatever the case was, they made the conscious decision to go in and save those folks that was in that home, and it just makes you feel proud.
You know, they want one brother was not going to allow the other brother to go in and attempt this heroic act by himself.
I'm proud of them, and I think that they should continue to help others. If you ever get another incident like that, make sure that you go and do your all to help this person or whoever.
I wasn't really into the fireworks. I was in the house at first. And my cousin, all you hear is, I think something on fire. So our first move was to go towards the fire to see what was going on.
Said the garage is on fire. I went to look first, and then I seen it was on fire for real. I went to go beat on Miss Sean and Mr. Kurt door. And then they didn't come outside. So first we had went back to go see the fire and see was it getting any bigger. So I was still beating on the door, and my mama was like, call the police. So when I finally started ringing the doorbell and beating at the same time, they had came to the door.
Doorbell's ringing, and I picked up my phone initially to just call my daughter because she had parked her car here. So I called her and I was like, hey, is that you? And she says, no, I'm at home. And then I said, oh no, something's wrong. So I run downstairs and I open the door, and sure enough, it's the boys, and it was Broderick, and he says, hey, Miss John, your garage is on fire. And I said, what? So I run through the back door, come into the garage, and when I opened the garage, sure enough, I could see the flames like just billowing right in the front of the garage to the right-hand side. And I yelled into the door, and the two boys were already there trying to lift the door. And so I said, no, you gotta crawl under and pull the latch. So he had to pull that emergency latch way up there, and one leap was on the top of my car. And that's how we were able to release the garage door.
Got a special message from somebody really important for us, and he wanted to just say something, you know, and congratulate you guys on what you did. So go ahead and check this out.
What's up, Broderick and Brandon? This is Deshaun Watson here. We are honoring you with the first ever Community Champs Award. And as soon as we are able to get fans and everyone back in the NRG Stadium, we're gonna make sure that we bring you out, and we're gonna make sure that we celebrate you for what you did. So thank you. Continue to be able to be in the community and keep being you. Appreciate you.
It is an honor for young people like yourselves who are doing great things in the community. So with that, Deshaun wanted to invite both of you to one of our football games when we are able to have folks back at the stadium. So you'll be his special guest.
Coming up, we sit down with third-year tight end Jordan Akins. That's next on Texans 360.
2. The previous 2 times the Ravens have ventured to NRG Stadium, the Texans have been victorious. Baltimore last visited Houston in 2014 when Randy Bullock kicked 6 field goals and Arian Foster tossed a touchdown pass to C.J. Fedorowicz. 8. The Texans have won their last 8 regular season games that were preceded by losses. They've bounced back well the last 2 seasons following a defeat. 14. Running back David Johnson touched the ball 14 times in the opener and produced 109 total yards. He ran 11 times for 77 yards at a score and caught 3 passes for 32 yards. I'm Mark Vandermeer, and this is By the Numbers, presented by FedEx.
Welcome back to Texans 360. I had a chance to sit down with Jordan Akins this week. You saw him last week against the Kansas City Chiefs. He scored a touchdown. He's hoping to build on what he started in week 1. We caught up with the Texans' third-year tight end. Take a look. Welcome into the Deep Slant One-on-One presented by Xfinity. My guest this week, tight end Jordan Akins. Jordan, week 1, obviously not the win that the Texans wanted, but you got your first touchdown, so you're on your way this year. Can you tell me what it was like just getting that first game under your belt? It was such a crazy and unusual offseason, but to actually get back on the field with your teammates and play real football, how did that feel for you?
It felt good, to just release it and, get out there and play with my teammates. And it just give us opportunity to see who can do what, in clutch situations and the time of need. So, we have some things we need to work on. And, with the first touchdown, it's not the way I wanted it to be, but, I take it as they come.
When you look back at your rookie self, what do you remember about going through that first NFL experience, and what was going through your brain at that time?
Just how fast the game is in the NFL, and in college it's different. Everyone's fast in the NFL, everyone's smart. So, in college you can be fast or you can be smart. You know what I'm saying? Some talent is going to show up on the field. You kind of have an advantage in college. In NFL, you have to be on your game. You have to know certain rules, when you're hot, when you're not. And just the competition overall. I love competing, and when everyone's on the same accord and when the offense is rolling, it's a beautiful thing.
Your chemistry with Deshaun Watson seems to have come a long way too, just in the few years that you guys have been together. What has gone into really developing that chemistry with Deshaun?
Just getting some routes and throws off the field. Just getting that chemistry. It's just not about throwing. It's about, having a connection with the guys well, and just being on the same page. Knowing what he wants and how he wants you to run the route is very important. So when the game comes, it's just like practice.
We never sleep on you, Jordan Akins. Cannot wait to see what the rest of 2020 brings for you. Jordan Akins on the Deep Slant One-on-One presented by Xfinity. Jordan, such a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Love seeing Akins grow from a rookie from his baseball days to now a third-year tight end. And here's a fun fact for you. He is the first Texans tight end to catch a touchdown in week 1 since 2013. Texans cheerleader turned TV host. We get to know a little bit more about Jessica, the host of Puro Texans. Next on Texans 360. Welcome back for more of Texans 360. We are rolling right along. And you know what else is rolling right along? Puro Texans. They had their season debut last year. They're back for season 2. And you know what? The host of Puro Texans is Jessica. She's the Houston Texans cheerleader. We get to know her a little bit better in this week's episode.
Puro Texans.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jessica.
Puro Texans.
Hola Texans fans, and bienvenido a la segunda temporada de Puro Texans. I'm your host Jessica, and I'm so excited to share with you what we have planned this season. But before we get started, I do have to do a quick photo shoot with the other 2020 Houston Texans cheerleaders. So let's head inside and check out the scene. I'm so proud to be a part of an organization that appreciates diversity. This season, HTC gained another proud Latina, Francesca. So Francesca, I just want to know about your experience growing up in Colombia and why you're so proud to be a Latina.
So I actually moved here when I was 4 or 5 years old, and we moved right to San Antonio.
while my parents were here, they met a lot of people from like South America, Central America. I got to kind of see like different types of culture and not just my own. So I grew up knowing people from Panama and Argentina, and now they're my uncles and aunts because, you know, that's the family that I have here. So that makes me really proud that we have something that connects us all, and that's why I'm so proud to be a Latina. And guys, if you didn't know, Francesca and I got to dance at Texas State University together. We were strutters, and so now I'm so excited that she's now a part of HTC family.
Open it up, Lewis. That's a cabrito, what they call.
Last season, we featured some iconic Houston Texans fans throughout the Latino community who all told their Boodle Texan story. This season, we'll be featuring even more. And for this episode, I'm going to share with you my Boodle Texan story. I was actually born and raised here in the Houston area, but my grandma, mi abuela, she believed that it was important to raise my sister and I to learn about our culture. So we got to spend our summers in Monterrey, which was the best experience ever. We learned how to speak Spanish there. We learned how to cook with my grandma and make all of her famous dishes like tamales, flautas, and my personal favorite, which is chile rellenos. As a Latina, family plays a big role in our everyday life. Anytime that we are celebrating anything, we always get together and cook together and just enjoy our presence together. My family has always been loyal and proud Houston sports teams fans, especially the Houston Texans. Being an HTC has always been a dream of mine. I remember going to my first Houston Texans football game with my dad. He took me when I was in elementary school. I just remember seeing HTC out on the field and just jaw dropped. I just remember being so in awe of them, and I just couldn't stop watching them. Their red palms on the field, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. So I started dancing and really picking up on it, and I just remember thinking, I don't want to stop here after high school, so I went off to college and danced for the Texas State Strutters. And I just remember always thinking, I want to go back to the Houston area and I want to keep dancing after college. I knew I always wanted to be an HTC, and that was home for me. It's been an incredible experience. I've got to meet some of the best fans in the NFL, and I have an incredible group of teammates.
Yo no sé si fue el destino el que quiso vernos juntos.
So being a Boodle Texans host has been such an eye-opening experience. I got to meet such awesome fans and how they incorporate their Latino culture.
Welcome to where O Mascaras lives. Come on.
And it was great to meet fans like O Mascaras and just see his passion and how he incorporates his Latin culture. And it was just so awesome to see his house and just to see how he lives on game days. I'm so proud to be a part of an organization that appreciates diversity and shares the same love for football. That's my Boodle Texans story, and I can't wait to hear yours. Stay safe, and remember, Boodle Texans.
Love seeing some of the behind-the-scenes footage there from the Houston Texans Cheerleaders photo shoot. It's a weird off-season, but the Houston Texans Cheerleaders keeping busy as always, and hopefully we'll see them out on the field very, very soon. And you know what? I cannot wait to see what Jessica and Season 2 of Boodle Texans brings to all of us. Season ticket members are now game show contestants. That's coming up on Texans 360. Welcome back for the final segment of Texans 360. It's 2020, it's the year of COVID, and season ticket members have not gotten their normal season ticket privileges, or so you think. Season ticket members, even though they haven't been able to go to the games, they've gotten some special, very cool surprises in store for them, and you know what, that includes game shows too. Take a look.
Hello, Texans, and welcome to the game that's sweeping the nation, 1st and 10. We have two Texans season ticket members going at it in a football trivia brawl. We're driving for the end zone here. It's anybody's game still. Charles, first down or big play?
I'm going to do another big play. I got to catch up.
He's going for the big play. Oh, I hope you know this one. Deshaun Watson was drafted in 2017 by the Houston Texans. We all remember they moved up in the draft to get him. It was very dramatic. Two quarterbacks were drafted ahead of him. Who were they?
Both of them?
You got to know both of them. One of them's pretty easy, I think. I would hope.
Mitchell Trubisky, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my gosh, guys! Did he get the snap off in time? Did he get the snap off in time for this big play? I think he did.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you got it. It. Patrick Mahomes and Mitchell Trubisky. All right, so Charles, you're on the 15-yard line. Dora, you're on the 25. Very much in this thing. Let's go, Dora. Big play or first down? What are you thinking?
Big play.
Big play. Here we go. Texans games can be heard on what radio station? What radio station are the Texans games?
Radio, AM Radio 610.
Yes, Sports Radio 610 judges. We will take it. She goes down to what? The 5-yard line. Charles, big play to punch it in the end zone right here. Or are you going to go for a first down?
I'm going to go for the win.
You're going to go for the win. How many Pro Bowls did Brian Cushing play in? 1, 2, or 3? How many Pro Bowls did Brian Cushing play in?
I think it was just one. I'm going to go with one.
That's it, Charles. That's it. You are in the end zone. Charles is our winner. How about that? Dora, you played really well.
Thank you.
You're going to win a parting gift, okay? You're going to win a Texans prize pack. Charles, you win an autographed football, and you are both winners in our books. I mean, you're Texans season ticket members, and we thank you for being that.
Can't wait to see those season ticket members' faces in person in those seats at NRG Stadium. But you know what? For more, you can always check out HoustonTexans.com because it's game week, everybody. It's game week every week. And we thank you so much for watching Texans 360. Thank you to everyone that worked on this show, Tyler Sutter, Tyler Marcotte, and for all of you for watching. As always, stay safe and go Texans.